John Calvin on Psalm 79, verses 1 through 6. O God, the heathen are come into thine inheritance. Thy holy temple have they defiled. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. The dead bodies of thy servants have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heaven, the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. We are become a reproach to our neighbours, a scorn and a derision to them that are round about us. How long, O Lord, wilt thou be angry forever? Shall thy jealousy burn like fire? Pour out thy wrath upon the heathen that have not known thee, and upon the kingdoms that have not called upon thy name. They have poured blood out like water, and there is no one to bury the dead. God having intended that in the burial of men there should be some testimony, to the resurrection at the last day, it was a double indignity for the saints to be despoiled of this right after their death. But it may be asked, since God often threatens the reprobate with this kind of punishment, why did he suffer his own people to be devoured of beasts? We must remember that the elect, as well as the reprobate, are subjected to the temporal punishments which pertain only to the flesh. The difference between the two cases lies solely in the issue. For God converts that which in itself is a token of his wrath into the means of the salvation of his own children. The same explanation, then, is to be given of their want of burial, which is given of their death. The most eminent of the servants of God may be put to a cruel and ignominious death, a punishment which we know is often executed upon murderers and other despisers of God. But still the death of the saints does not cease to be precious in his sight. When he has suffered them to be unrighteously persecuted in the flesh, he shows, by taking vengeance on their enemies, how dear they were to him. In like manner, God, to stamp the marks of his wrath on the reprobate, even after their death, deprives them of burial, and therefore he threatens a wicked king, quote, he shall be buried with the burial of an ass, drawn and cast forth beyond the gates of Jerusalem, unquote. Jeremiah 22, verse 19. When he exposes his own children to the like indignity, he may seem for a time to have forsaken them, but afterwards converts it into the means of furthering their salvation. For their faith, being subjected to this trial, acquires a fresh triumph. When in ancient times the bodies of the dead were anointed, that ceremony was performed for the sake of the living whom they left behind them, when they saw the bodies of the dead carefully preserved, to cherish in their hearts the hope of a better life. The faithful, then, by being deprived of burial, suffer no loss when they rise by faith above these inferior helps, that they may advance with speedy steps to a blessed immortality.